everyone, and welcome back to Art a la Carte. In this video I had the intention of starting one kind of challenge and it kind of morphed into two different challenges. The original challenge that I started off with was the color swatch challenge. I asked you guys over on Instagram to give me some swatches of color and I would choose one. You guys gave me a ton. It was really hard to choose, but I went with this 1970s vibe. It's kind of like the 3-marker challenge, only I have the colors from the swatch and those are the only ones I want to use. Where the other challenge came in, and you'll see this as the video progresses, is that I decided to do this in watercolor instead of Copic markers, and trying to mix my paints to match these tones was a bit of a challenge, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. But I really wanted to take these 3 colors a little bit differently. So I decided to test out one of these watercolors that I got from a previous Smart Art box. While these don't have the exact colors that I need, I can mix them to be that shade. So I'm going to take and have 4 cups. So I'm going to take 4 cups and pre-mix the shades in here to be exactly the color that I need them to be. So the first one is this kind of toned down yellow. So we're going to start off with this yellow here and this ochre. I've never used these paints before, so I'm kind of excited to see how well they work. Though I am using them a little bit differently than I would a normal watercolor paint, because I'm going to actually make a wash with them. But I like them. They're very loose paint. They're not coming out super thick. So that's the colors right there so far. Just a little bit. In fact, I think I'll use my pipette because I don't want to drown them in too much water. Just enough to kind of mix them up a little bit. Just move the jar, so we'll mix those up. It's still a little bit vibrant. Let me get a piece of paper to do a swatch test with. It's always a good idea. So this color here is almost there. It's just it needs to be a little bit duller. Just a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to add in Payne's Gray. That's what I want to mix in. These are great. This is a great color selection here. So I'm actually going to just put this right on the brush. Oh, not even that much. A little goes a long way with these guys. I'm just going to dull that up there. You should be able to see a little bit of a difference. I don't know if it picks up so much on the camera, but this one is definitely a little bit duller. Okay, so first one done. The next one is almost very similar. I'm not going to add as much of... Actually, I don't think I'm going to add any of these. I think I'm going to add ochre, so the green color. So I'm going to add a lot of this ochre in here. Some of this deep green. Almost there. I think just a little bit more toning it down. So I'm going to go with some brown here. That might be too much brown. Hang on. So that's a really good paint. There we go. Can you see the difference on that one? I have a lot of good paint on there. I have to scrape that onto my palette. Next, we're going to go for the orange. So we're going to use some of this yellow, this scarlet kind of red, maybe a nice warm red. Reds are pretty powerful, so you only need a little dabble to start off with. That might be a little bit more of the tone we want. And last is this deep kind of red, Elysian crimson, almost the color that we need. So I'm going to put a lot of that in there, and I'm just going to put a touch Payne's Gray. Ooh, that might be too much. This paint comes out so easy. Let's scoop a little bit of the Payne's Gray out. We'll put it over there. Yeah, even that. Oh, might have killed my paint. No, actually, I think I got the tone I need. It just looks so murky in here, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that is going to be the color. So on this one, the only thing I would say is maybe that orange still is not as bright as it needs to be. So let's throw in a little bit more scarlet to the orange. Good. All right, I think I have my paints. For the rest of this, these are the 4 shades, and I think I'm also going to limit myself to what paint I did up, because mixing paints like this, it's hard to get the exact same shade, so we're just going to see what I can create with these 4 cups of paint. For my paper, I am using a fluid watercolor block, so it's the kind that has the adhesive all the way around except for a little portion right over here, and so it helps keep everything nice and flat. I'm sketching with my Pilot Cooler Enos color pencils, which I love these guys. I have paint on me, it's not blood, paint. Anyway, all of my supplies I'll leave linked in the description box below if you want to check them out, where I purchased them over on Amazon. So let's go ahead and sketch. Okay, I have just the basic kind of sketch worked out. Not super thrilled with her hand. I think once it's painted, we'll be able to see kind of what it's doing. So the next step would either be add color or ink and add color. Generally I ink and then add color, but for this one I'm feeling a base coat of color first, then inking, and then coming in and rendering out the picture. So I have to figure out, using these 4 colors only, how to get the tones that I need. All right, so for this, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of this green, kind of yellow, and maybe just a hint of this. And I think with some added water to this, I think I'll be able to get a skin tone that I like. So this is just clear water, clean water. All right, so let's see what we got here. A little bit darker than what I had anticipated, but that's okay. So I'm just going to blot this up, and I think it'll give me close to the tones that I'm looking for. So I've dabbed just a little bit of this red here on my palette, so I can kind of begin adding a little bit of blushing. I would love some blue in this, because your blue is your natural shading color that you'd want with this. Be perfect. But we don't got that, so we're just gonna work with what we have. Her a redhead, give her some nice orange hair to go. Block those in. I'm working a lot with a lot of water, so I anticipate some bleed through. So you can see how this is kind of bleeding into the head. I kind of want that look. I want a little bit of a messy look to her. I can always take a damp brush and just kind of swipe off that, pull it back a little bit if it gets a little too crazy. I'm going to try some of the green to see if I can shade with this green, or at least add some tones with it. I don't know. I'm running on complete instinct here. Okay, I want to make her dress down here the deep red. Place in some wash really quick here first so the paint will spread nice. into this red. I have to say I like how this paint moves. So I also want her bow up here to be that red. I'm just going to start laying that in there. I'm going to use this green for that. So the paint doesn't like magically spread like some of my other paints, but it does have a nice bloom to it. And I'll also use this green up here in the flowers later on. Break it down a little bit. It's just a kind of a yellowy glaze. Watercolor to be really loose in this first stretch. Let the colors mix and play. Oops. I can't see which cup is which because so I keep on thinking that these cups are my water, and I go to dip in. It's this one here's my water. So I have a dark brown sepia colored color pencil. I'm going to use my line arting for this. Alright, I think I like it. So I'll kind of give you a little check on how much paint. This is why I love watercolor, because I barely use any of these paints. There's still a lot here, and I can pour this into a regular palette and use them, or just keep them in the cups. They'll dry out, and then I can wake them up with water later on, so I can continue using this palette or mix it up with other things. If you enjoy art challenges, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I do have the second Choose Your Own Adventure coming out sometime in the beginning of next week. So make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and hit that notification bell so you know when a new video is uploaded. As always, God bless you guys, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next art video. Bye-bye!